Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode from the Multi Tools and Blades channel. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below. Once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away this brand new Leatherman free P4 to one lucky subscriber. So for your chance to win, all you need to do is hit that subscribe button. In today's video, we're going to be having a look at a 1950s Victorinox Champion. It does not have a corkscrew, it has the square Phillips, which we'll have a look at very shortly. Let's get a little bit closer. The Champion is the predecessor to the current Swiss Champ. I'm sure you're all familiar with the Swiss Champ model. The Champion was released back in the 1950s and was very similar to this design, with the exception that the scales had the exposed rivets. The earlier ones were a lot more harder to come by. These are hard, but the exposed rivet versions are very, very hard to come by. So being a 1950s version, we have Victoria Officer Swiss stamped on one side of the blade, and on the other side is Victorinox Switzerland Stainless Rostafray. It's a pretty standard 91mm Victorinox blade. Opposite that though, we have a short clip point blade instead of the more common and more recent drop point blade that you see on the pen knives. This blade is unstamped. I like that Victorinox puts a second blade on their knives, and especially one with a different shaped point. Next along the scale should be the scissors. It's the old style scissors, you can tell that from the spring. The scissors work well, but only on light duty work, nothing too heavy. Next layer across we have the file. Now this is the first Victorinox file I've owned. It doesn't have a nail nick in it, and you open it from the edge much like the wood saw. Also, the file itself is a lot more finer than you would find on a Swiss Champ due to each side being double cut, whereas on a Swiss Champ each side is single cut. As well, you can see that the teeth are cut all the way to the very, very tip of the file, whereas on a Swiss Champ you've got about 4 or 5 mil, about 1/4 of an inch on the end, so you can't get into and do the fine work. Now we have the fish scaler and hook release. Just like a current one, only you might have noticed that there's no ruler on this one of the early versions as well. The next layer is the wood saw. One of my subscribers, Hitch Post, if you're viewing this, you might notice that saw only cuts in one direction, whereas if you have a look at a more current model Swiss Champ, the teeth cuts in both directions. So thank you, Hitch Post. So we're on to the last layer before we turn it around and things start to get interesting. So we have the traditional cap lifter a can opener with patent stamp on it, and small blade screwdriver. And opposite that we have the cap lifter and large screwdriver. It's also got the wire stripper built into it as the older cap lifters did. Now I'm quite sure you've all seen these before. They're obviously some of the most common tools on a Victorinox, so we won't go into any details about those. So when we turn it over, we're going to have some interesting little tools here. So we have the original style awl. This is my favourite awl over the newer ones. I just think it looks better, feels nicer, it sticks out a little bit more. The other one seems to be a bit more hidden away when it's closed. And we have the squared Phillips screwdriver with a file on the back, which I find quite interesting. So the position of this file and the fact that it's quite a smooth file, the first thought would be that this would be a nail file. It certainly could be used as a nail file, but on this particular model itself, when you turn it over, hidden on the opposite side of the scissors, we have a long nail file, or nail cleaning tool, sorry. Yeah, the fact that this tool itself has 3 different files is quite interesting, quite unique. I've never seen a Victorinox myself that's had 3 separate different files before. If you guys can think of any that do, please pop your comments down below and let me know so I could hunt one of those down and show everyone. For those that are not following me, what I'll do is I'll just take all 3 files out there to show you what I'm talking about. So these three features are pretty much the unique part of this tool. I'm really glad though that it did evolve into the Swiss Champ with the additional tools such as the magnifying glass and the pliers. But this is a really good insight into what Victorinox were thinking at the time, trying to cram as many things as they can into one little pocket tool. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my new friend Jose in Texas for sending me this beautiful Swiss Army knife across the world. Jose has his own YouTube channel, which I will link at the end of this video right now and also in the description. So be sure to also check out his eBay store. He has some seriously sponge-worthy Victorinox up for sale at the moment. Well, that's the end of another video. I hope you've enjoyed watching it as much as I've enjoyed making it. I encourage everyone to leave a comment down below and hit that subscribe button if you already haven't done so. Have a happy and safe Christmas, and we'll see you next week.